Hi everyone, Nessie here. I just want to do a really quick video showing you how I aged some book pages. I put some posts on some Facebook groups and lots of people asked me how I did it and what I used, and I think some people got a bit confused with the type of material I used. So I'm just going to do a really quick video on how I did it. These were the pages that I posted in the Facebook group. There was this one, there was this one, this was a coloured image, and there was also this one. So yeah, I love using these images in the books, but I don't like how the pages are glossy or white. I don't think they fit in with the theme, so I decided I would see if I could age them. Now what I used is this tissue paper. Now I found this in a scrap store, charity shop, thrift store, whatever you want to call. It's what dressmakers use when they make patterns for a dress, but it doesn't have all the sewing markings and patterns on it. It's just the plain paper. I did look at the baking paper. This is baking paper, and this is just far too dark. You don't really see the image through it. You can see it, but it's not, I think it's too dark. You could try it, obviously. It's up to you, but this is baking paper. In all honesty, I am dreading running out of this stuff because I use it so much. I mean, I've got 2 rolls like this and I have got quite a bit on there. I don't know if you can see. But when I run out of it, I don't know what I'm going to do. So if anyone finds an alternative to this, please do let me know. But can you see how the image is a lot more through it, especially the black and white ones? Whereas with the baking paper, you don't really see it. So what I use to glue it is, I have used Mod Podge in the past, but I ran out of Mod Podge. So I mixed up some PVA glue and water in a pot, and it is literally, that's it. It's just 50-50 PVA glue and water in a pot. And oh, I'm sorry, I'm really going to be disorganized here because I've literally just come on and quickly done this. So yeah, what I did was I tore off just a bit of paper. I didn't do it in strips, I've done it in one whole piece. Now with some images, I just glued it on flat like that. And if I can find my brush, which I know is here. Yeah, I pretty much just whack the glue on. Like so. Just paint it on, laid the tissue over it, and just smoothed it out like that. Now that's how I did some of them. Now you can go over the top if you want with the glue. On these little ones, I didn't do that. When it dries, I tend to leave it overnight to dry. I did go around the edges just to make sure that all the edges were glued down. And then I'd leave it overnight to dry, and it does wrinkle a bit, but I don't think that matters. It kind of adds to it. Now with the bigger picture, what I did was, hold on, let me get another piece of, I got quite a big piece of this off. There's my scissors. Just cut a piece off. I laid the glue onto the page over the image. You do get such beautiful images in these books, and I love using them. But the glossiness just doesn't really fit with the vintage theme. So I just paint the glue on, and then I don't lay it down flat, I just lay it down and I kind of scrunch it up a bit in places. And then push it down flat. And I am always kind of known for doing a bit of this with a roller thing. And that gives you the creases in the image. If you want creases, I don't always want creases, but if I do, that's what I do. And now I'll go over it with glue again. You don't have to. I don't with all of them, but then if I do, sometimes they will curl up as they dry, but if you lay them between books, they will flatten out. I find sewing around the edges sometimes helps with the flattening it out. And then I will generally leave that overnight to dry. I do have a hot air gun, but I don't really like using the hot air gun to dry things like this because I think it sometimes makes the glue bubble a bit, and I don't like that effect. So anyway, that's basically what I do. Then I'd leave those to dry. Now, when I was doing the original pages, I didn't know if this would work, and I didn't want to waste a page or the image trying it out. So what I did was I photocopied the image onto copier paper and did it on the copier paper to see if it would work. So this is the tryout I did. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Are you allowed to copy a page from a book, alter it, and then use it in a journal, or does that also go against copyright rules? If anyone knows the answer to that, I'd really appreciate it, because there are pages in a book where I like the pictures on both sides and I hate having to choose. So if anyone knows if you're allowed to do that, I would love to know. Then what I generally do when it's dry, I'll show you. I just get a ruler, I tear the excess tissue off. I quite liked the teared edge, I think it adds to it. I'll just tear that off so it's a bit neater. But I'm just doing this because once it's dry, I wanted to show you then how I distressed it. So I literally just tear all of this off. That's a bit too small for me. What I'll do is I'll just trim that up quickly. But it looks quite good, photocopied on copier paper, but you see how they curl when they dry, but it will flatten out. Now, all I did after I did that was I used distressing ink, vintage photo one. There might be a better way of doing this, but this is what I have, so this is what I use. And I just went over the image with the ink, like so. You can spend a bit of time on this. When you've got the wrinkles, the ink kind of clings to the wrinkles a bit more. So I just do this with the ink, going over it. I do this on the smooth ones as well. It just, I don't know, I just think gives it that little added bit of colour. I'm hoping that you can see, I'm in camera. But yeah, this is what I did with the vintage photo. I went over the whole image with it. I might go a bit darker in certain areas. And when you've got wrinkles, it's really nice because it clings to the wrinkles. And then I got a darker one, which one I used was gathered twigs, but you could use walnut stains, quite a dark one as well. And then with the darker one, I just went along the edges to make the edges darker. It might be a bit too dark. Just went along the edges in a darker ink. There's not really much to it. I don't have a huge array of supplies, so I just try to make do with what I have. I'm sure there might be other ways you could do it, but this is how I did it. You see how, like, I haven't glued that down, but this was just a trial on copier paper. No, it's not copier paper, sorry. It's card. It's just white card. I think it's 160 GMS or whatever you call it, card. I thought it was copier paper, but it's not. And I just photocopied it. My printer has a photocopy setting. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did to distress it. So yeah, I glued on the tissue, let it dry, and just rubbed ink over it. And then what I did with the smaller ones was I just made large pockets with them. So this is a large pocket. I stitched around the edge, just glued it down as a pocket. This one I made into a pair. I love the images, but don't you find that sometimes the books are just too big for your journals? The pages are too big, and I hate cutting them down because I love the image, and I hate putting them in a signature so you get the top half on one side and the bottom half on the other. I want the whole image. So with this one, I did it as a flip, like an extra page flip. Usually I would do it as a flip out, but this one kind of flips in. And it's also a large pocket here, and there's a smaller pocket here. This here, I used the wordings on the page describing the bird. So I liked it, so I cut it out and just used it as a little extra pocket on that one. And then on this one, I did a large, I stitched around it, made it into a large pocket and a little tuck on the bottom here. But yeah, like I say, if anyone knows about the copyright ruling on whether you're allowed to photocopy and alter pages and use them, or if that's against copyright rules, because I know if you use original pages it's fine, but like I say, I like the images on both sides sometimes, like this, but this page has images on both sides, and so does the other one. Where's that other one? This one. I like the black and white images, but I also like the coloured images. So if anyone knows that, and if anybody knows where you can get this paper from, I don't know if, I know baking paper doesn't work, but I don't know if freezer paper will work. I don't know, and I don't have white tissue paper, so I can't try that out. And I don't know how hard the white tissue paper is to distress, but this stuff is amazing, and I wish I knew where I could get it from. So if anyone knows, please do let me know. So yeah, that's how I did it. Just a quick one today. Thanks for watching. Hope it's helpful, and I will see you again soon. Bye.